This discussion between David Goggins and Andrew Huberman offers invaluable insights into overcoming adversity, building mental toughness, and developing the discipline needed to push past limitations and unlock your full potential. Instead of taking 2.5 hours, we'll cover all the key takeaways in just a few minutes. Let's have a productive life. Let's start with an incredible story of transformation: David Goggins' journey and mindset. David Goggins' life wasn't always one of extraordinary achievement. True, he once described himself as being at the bottom of the barrel. Growing up in an abusive household and later finding himself in an unhealthy, stagnant lifestyle, he faced a reality that felt insurmountable. Yet, as Goggins himself says, "I realized that nobody was coming to save me, and it was up to me to rewrite my story." This moment of clarity became the catalyst for his transformation. Through self-discipline and sheer determination, he turned his life around. He became a Navy SEAL, a world-class ultramarathon runner, and a best-selling author. Importantly, he emphasizes that his achievements weren't driven by fleeting motivation. Instead, he says, "It's not about motivation. It's about discipline and doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to." This mindset shift from relying on feelings of inspiration to building unshakable habits of action is what allowed him to tackle monumental challenges and consistently push his limits. So, how can we take lessons from Goggins' story? First, start with brutal honesty. Evaluate where you are in life and identify what needs to change. Next, focus on discipline. Motivation may come and go, but building habits that align with your goals will keep you moving forward, even on tough days. Finally, use adversity as a tool for growth. Instead of viewing challenges as setbacks, treat them as opportunities to develop resilience and mental strength. Goggins shows us that when we redefine our relationship with discomfort, we can achieve extraordinary things. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. The role of inner dialogue in personal growth. Your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth, or personal sabotage. As Goggins puts it, your inner dialogue is either your biggest critic or your greatest coach. You choose who takes the lead. He's known for a practice of asking himself daily, "Am I the weakest version of myself? Or am I working to improve?" This constant self-check keeps him accountable and ensures he's not letting excuses or negativity hold him back. In his conversation with Andrew Huberman, Goggins emphasized that inner dialogue isn't something you can ignore. It's always there. Left unchecked, it can become a relentless critic, undermining your confidence and motivation. But when managed intentionally, it becomes a coach that drives you toward your goals. He shared that rewriting the narratives in your mind is crucial. For example, if you're facing self-doubt, instead of letting it fester, you can challenge it with empowering thoughts like, "I've overcome hard things before, and I'll do it again." This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with daily practice, you can retrain your mind to work for you instead of against you. To apply this, start by developing awareness of your thoughts. Set aside time each day to reflect. Ask yourself whether your inner dialogue is constructive or destructive. Next, challenge negative self-talk with statements that empower you. Practice affirmations or visualize yourself succeeding to reinforce these messages. Finally, treat this process like a skill. It requires effort and consistency. Over time, you'll find that your inner dialogue becomes one of your strongest allies in achieving personal and professional growth. Scientific insights on willpower and self-discipline. Willpower isn't infinite. Think of it like a muscle. It can be trained and strengthened, but it also needs recovery to function at its best. Goggins shares how understanding the triggers behind your behaviors can make all the difference when building discipline. For example, if you know that certain situations make it harder to stay on track, you can prepare for them or create systems that support better choices. Huberman explains the neurobiological side of this. Our brain's reward systems play a significant role in sustaining discipline. By aligning your actions with positive reinforcement, you can create habits that stick. Goggins himself demonstrates this approach in action. He sets small, consistent goals that build momentum and celebrates incremental progress along the way. This not only keeps him focused, but also helps to sustain his energy over the long term, even in the face of discomfort. He emphasizes that self-discipline isn't about perfection, It's about showing up every day, no matter how small the effort might seem. So, how can you apply these insights? Start by identifying specific, manageable actions you can take toward your goals. Focus on consistency rather than intensity. Small steps, taken repeatedly, build stronger habits. Next, recognize the triggers that lead to undesired behaviors and address them directly. For example, if you tend to procrastinate, set up an environment that minimizes distractions. Finally, make time for recovery. Just like a muscle, willpower needs rest to avoid burnout. Incorporate mindfulness, quality sleep, or other restorative practices into your routine to sustain your discipline over the long haul. Overcoming adversity and childhood trauma. Goggins faced more challenges in his early life than many people can imagine. His childhood was marked by abuse and hardship, leaving deep emotional scars. Reflecting on his experiences, he says, "I didn't choose the hand I was dealt, but I chose how I would play it." This mindset was pivotal for him. Rather than allowing his past to define him, he reframed those experiences as lessons. Your past doesn't define you. How you respond to it does, he explains. This doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending it never happened. Goggins emphasizes the importance of confronting trauma head-on, acknowledging its impact, and processing it in a way that helps rather than hinders. For Goggins, the key was to view his experiences as a source of strength. By facing his pain, he developed empathy for others and built a resilience that would serve him later in life. His story teaches us that our struggles don't have to hold us back. They can propel us forward if we choose to let them. So how can you start overcoming your own adversities? First, acknowledge your traumas and find constructive ways to process them. Therapy, journaling, or talking to a trusted support group can help. Focus on what you can control in the present. While you can't change the past, you can shape how you move forward. Lastly, use your experiences to build empathy and strength, not just for yourself, but for those around you who may be going through similar struggles. In the words of Goggins, how you respond to your challenges is what defines you. The power of mental toughness. Mental toughness is another cornerstone of David Goggins' philosophy. He believes it's not about being unbreakable, it's about refusing to stay broken. Mental toughness isn't about being unbreakable, it's about refusing to stay broken, he explains. This perspective reshapes how we think about resilience. Toughness isn't the absence of pain or struggle, it's about how we handle them. Goggins describes mental toughness as a skill you build over time, much like developing calluses on your hands. You have to build calluses on your mind just like on your hands, he says. He achieved this by intentionally exposing himself to discomfort and pushing through challenges that others might shy away from. Whether it was enduring grueling Navy SEAL training or running ultramarathons, Goggins leaned into pain and discomfort rather than avoiding it. This practice enabled him to perform under high-pressure conditions and accomplish extraordinary feats. So how can you cultivate mental toughness in your life? Start by seeking out manageable stressors. This might mean taking cold showers, committing to challenging workouts, or setting ambitious goals that require consistent effort. When failures or setbacks occur, reframe them as opportunities to grow. Instead of thinking, "I failed," consider, "What did I learn and how can I improve?" Finally, practice mindfulness to stay focused on the present task, avoiding overwhelm from thinking too far ahead. Mental toughness, as Goggins shows, isn't something you're born with. It's a skill anyone can develop with intentional effort. The role of physical fitness in mental health. Physical fitness isn't just about building a stronger body, it's also about cultivating a stronger mind. For David Goggins, fitness was a turning point in his life. As he says, "Fitness saved my life. It gave me a sense of control and purpose when everything else was chaos." Goggins emphasizes that fitness isn't just about aesthetics or numbers on a scale. It's about the discipline, mental clarity, and self-respect that come with committing to physical well-being. Your body is a reflection of how much you respect yourself, he explains. Goggins credits his fitness journey with helping him reclaim control over his life. The discipline required for training spilled over into other areas, allowing him to rebuild his confidence and sense of self-worth. Fitness also became a tool for managing stress and processing emotions in a healthy way. For Goggins, running, weightlifting, and endurance training weren't just physical activities, they were acts of self-reclamation. What can we learn from his approach? Start by setting achievable fitness goals, like running a certain distance or lifting a specific weight. These goals should challenge you, but remain realistic enough to maintain momentum. Make exercise a daily ritual, not just for your body, but for your mind. Use it as a way to improve focus, manage stress, and reinforce your commitment to self-care. And finally, celebrate your progress. Each milestone, no matter how small, is a reflection of your effort and growth. Physical fitness isn't just about what you do for your body. It's an investment in your overall well-being, much like it was for Goggins. Self-accountability and ownership. Self-accountability is one of the most empowering tools for personal growth, and both David Goggins and Andrew Huberman highlight its importance. Goggins emphasizes that true success starts with taking full ownership of your life. Own your mistakes, own your pain, and most importantly, own your success, he advises. Too often we wait for external validation or support, but as Goggins says, nobody is coming to save you. It's on you to take action. This philosophy is about acknowledging where you are, taking responsibility for how you got there, and committing to doing the work required to change. Personal accountability means owning both your failures and your victories. When you take responsibility for your mistakes, you can learn from them rather than being held back by guilt or frustration. Similarly, recognizing and celebrating your successes reinforces the habits and decisions that led to them. To build accountability, Goggins recommends reflecting regularly on your actions and decisions. Ask yourself, are my actions aligned with my goals? Tools like journaling can help you track your progress and identify patterns. Additionally, finding a mentor or accountability partner can provide guidance and keep you focused. Remember, accountability is a skill that grows with practice, and it's the foundation for meaningful change. Time management and prioritization. Time is one of our most valuable resources, yet it's also one of the easiest to waste. Goggins and Huberman emphasize the need to be intentional with how you spend it. Goggins offers a straightforward principle. If it doesn't move you closer to your goals, it's a distraction. Huberman echoes this sentiment, highlighting the importance of prioritizing activities that align with your long-term objectives. The idea is simple. Focus your time and energy on high-impact actions and say no to commitments that don't serve your goals. Effective time management starts with planning. Take a moment at the beginning of each day to map out your schedule and ensure your activities reflect your priorities. This not only keeps you organized, but also helps you avoid the trap of reactive decision-making. Goggins emphasizes the power of saying no, whether to social obligations, unnecessary projects, or distractions. Learning to set boundaries is crucial for staying on track. Additionally, periodically review how you're spending your time. Are there habits or routines that don't serve you? If so, eliminate or replace them with actions that align with your goals. By mastering time management, you create more space for what truly matters, whether that's achieving your ambitions or spending quality time with loved ones. Continuous learning and self-education. The pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey, and both Goggins and Huberman stress the importance of staying curious and continuously learning. Goggins sums it up perfectly. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. He views learning not just as acquiring information, but as a way to ask better questions and deepen your understanding. Whether he's studying science to enhance his physical performance or exploring new ideas, Goggins embodies the mindset of a lifelong learner. Huberman expands on this idea by emphasizing the need to adapt knowledge to practical contexts. Learning isn't just about accumulating facts, it's about applying them in ways that improve your life. For instance, Goggins applies his learning to refine his training routines, enhance his mental toughness, and stay ahead in his personal and professional pursuits. To follow their example, set aside time each day for intentional learning. This could mean reading a book, listening to a podcast, or taking an online course. Once you've gained new insights, put them into practice. Whether it's improving your work processes, refining a skill, or enhancing your health, application is what solidifies learning. Lastly, surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking and inspire growth. A community of curious, driven individuals can push you to new heights and keep your passion for learning alive. Exploring limits and building resilience. David Goggins is known for challenging conventional notions of what humans are capable of. He often says, "You're living at 40% of your capacity. Push past that to discover what you're truly capable of." This idea stems from his belief that most people give up far before their actual limits. For Goggins, the key to success is embracing discomfort and using it as a tool for growth. Resilience is built not in comfort, but in how you handle discomfort, he explains. This means that resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you cultivate by consistently confronting challenges. Goggins shares practical strategies for building resilience. He encourages seeking out situations that test your mental and physical endurance, even if they're uncomfortable. Whether it's taking on a difficult project, committing to a rigorous workout routine, or pushing through a tough conversation, these challenges build your capacity to endure and thrive under pressure. He also emphasizes the importance of reflecting on past difficulties. By analyzing how you handled adversity before, you can draw valuable lessons that prepare you for future challenges. To apply these principles, start by identifying one area where you can push past your comfort zone this week. Maybe it's running a little farther, taking on a task that intimidates you, or simply saying yes to an opportunity that scares you. Develop a habit of seeking out manageable challenges regularly to build both resilience and confidence. Finally, use past struggles as a learning tool. Reflect on how you've overcome obstacles and let those lessons guide your approach to new situations. Goggins shows us that resilience isn't built in ease. It's built when we face adversity head-on. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. The science of motivation and discipline. Motivation and discipline are often viewed as interchangeable, but Goggins and Huberman show us they're very different. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going, Goggins says. Motivation is temporary. It might inspire you to begin a task, but it's not reliable over the long term. Discipline, on the other hand, is a consistent practice that carries you through, even when motivation fades. Huberman provides a scientific perspective, explaining how our brain's reward systems play a crucial role in sustaining discipline. By understanding the neurobiology of habits, you can replace negative behaviors with positive ones and build routines that stick. Goggins shares how he uses discipline to maintain his focus and achieve his goals. For him, discipline is about showing up every day, no matter how he feels. He structures his routines in ways that make it easier to stay on track, breaking large tasks into smaller, manageable steps and celebrating incremental progress. Huberman adds that leveraging dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, can reinforce good habits. For instance, rewarding yourself after completing a challenging task creates a positive feedback loop that encourages repetition. To apply these insights, start by using rewards strategically. Treat yourself to something small but meaningful after completing a task that aligns with your goals. Next, identify triggers for unproductive behaviors. Maybe distractions like social media pull you away from your priorities. Replace these habits with actions that bring you closer to your objectives. Finally, plan challenging tasks during times of peak focus and energy. This ensures you're maximizing your productivity and reinforcing the discipline needed to keep going. Goggins and Huberman remind us that motivation might light the spark, but discipline is what fuels the fire for lasting success. David Goggins' story and principles remind us that transformation is possible when we embrace accountability, challenge our comfort zones, and develop mental and physical resilience. By managing our inner dialogue, prioritizing time wisely, and fostering a lifelong commitment to learning, we can create meaningful, lasting change in our lives. The key takeaway is that true growth stems from consistent effort, even in the face of discomfort and setbacks. As Goggins says, you're capable of far more than you think. You just have to push yourself to see it.